This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. You know, it's funny. I got two stories in a row, Steve, that really relate to you.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to get to both of them, but actually the second story is about doppelgangers. I'm not going to get to that because the first story is about your doppelganger, Vin Diesel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of him stealing my look.
He really, yeah, it's really sad. And it is true. A woman actually came up to you at an airport and wanted to know did she want to know if you were his brother or you were him? I can't remember.
I don't remember the airport one.
Oh, you don't remember?
No.
Like at the baggage claim? I thought somebody thought you were a Vin Diesel at the baggage claim.
Somebody had a baggage. I don't know. I can't remember if that one happened. I remember there was one that someone thought that I was Jason Statham.
Oh, maybe I confuse that all the time.
But then there's been multiple times with the Vin Diesel one. It always comes up because he just looks like he's a New Yorker with a bald head.
Yeah.
He's got silly looking features, and I definitely lean more towards the silly than him. But there's been times like at a Jay-Z concert where there was a group of guys that were wasted and they were convinced that was Vin Diesel. And I was just like, well, what do I do with this? Do I go along with the ride? Do I disappoint these gentlemen?
Oh, you go along with the ride,
You
buddy.
get free drinks all night long.
Didn't get free drinks, but we took a lot of pictures.
All you have to say to him is, I am Groot, and you're fine.
Right.
That's all you got to say. Yeah, he's not a man of many words, even in a lot of the roles he plays. He grunts a lot of things, so you should be good.
But it is funny when people will come up and say, do you know you look like... And the more recent one for wrestling fans is this guy, Brandon Cutler, who's in AEW. He's a big Dungeons & Dragons guy. He's got like a 12-sided dice on his wrestling.
Oh, that's
game.
awesome.
Really?
Yeah, but that's one... Again, it's just a bald, goofy-looking guy. But all these guys are in great shape, so it's like this weird thing. I'm like their before picture.
Yeah.
Or after a Bender picture.
Those are two good shots right there.
Yeah, so like those are the two doppelgangers I get a lot right now.
There's a great video
Here's
spread.
Brandon Cutler.
Oh, there he is. Wow, he's got a goatee and everything. Why are they thinking that's you?
I don't know, because he's bald.
Yeah, that's like the only reason.
That is the only reason. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, I love his look though. He looks like a wizard.
Yeah, he's big into...
Oh,
Yeah, he's a big D&D enthusiast, says
Good
so
for
on his
him.
Twitter.
That's a great look. He really doesn't look anything like you except that
No.
he's bald.
Right.
Yeah, that's nuts. Okay, Vin Diesel though, I can see it a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? Before you or Vin, I can't ever, I don't know who's who. I've never seen you both in the same place. There's a great video of you guys when you were young, or Vin was anyway, and this is before he became a huge Hollywood star. This is from back in 1994. Nobody knew who Vin Diesel was, and here he is doing a Street Sharks toy presentation at a toy fair.
He's the leader of the Street Sharks. He's a great warrior. He's got the real shark skin, and his special power is the right-hand roundhouse punch. Boom! Death. I've got something here with such fantastic detail, it's going to blow you away. Hand shark! A good shark! Rocky Balboa action.
You know what I love?
Hell?
That was fantastic. I love when he said fantastic detail.
Yeah, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. That was awesome.
Do you think he sees this now? He's like, can you guys please delete this? He's in a skin-tight leather vest.
Oh, dude. And he's
No
got
shirt
some,
underneath it.
and he's got some hair.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what, dude?
So weird.
I love seeing stuff like this because he was really enthusiastic selling the stuff. I think that's pretty awesome.
But it doesn't seem like he had to be trained to sell this stuff. I feel like this is just what he did in his free time.
Well, it's a perfect
Yeah.
match.
When you hear those
But
action sounds.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not knocking a guy. I did that too.
Oh, that's a
But
great life.
I was 12 when I did it.
If you told me at 12 years old somebody would pay me to do that, what I used to do in my room, I would be 100% behind that.
And he's all shredded too.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
even
such
better.
a weird thing to watch.
So
Well,
awesome.
he is a huge nerd. He does love the Dungeons and Dragons, but one of my favorite things is that he's also wearing a shark tooth necklace to
Yeah.
add to the look.
Of course. He's like, I'm ready for this. Tell me what's up.
Oh, what the hell?
Steve, I can't believe that you're into like Dungeons and Dragons like this. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
And I love wearing shark tooth necklaces.
Yeah, you
and
do.
skin tight leather vests.
I know what to get you for Christmas. Wow.
Please don't. I already got too many of them, Rev. I mean,
Do
I
it.
just-
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, this makes sense, Steve. They're saying, scientists say that we have every person has roughly 6 doppelgangers out there in the entire world. Mm-hmm. So your Vins, your Daughtries, your what's the new dude, the wizard guy?
Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, your Brandons.
There's that guy that's on like some like home and garden channel thing. I always get tagged on some kind of. That guy actually. It's kind of trippy. He does look a little bit like me. I don't know if it's like a fashion type show on Bravo or a home and garden type show. I have no idea.
It's amazing how many people you know look like you. I only know of 2 people that look like me, and they're
Right.
both serial killers.
Gary Ridgway.
And then this guy in Norway.
Oh, what about Samuel L. Jackson? A lot of people say that you look like him.
Yeah, it's true. It's probably because I talk like him, when I'm off air.
True.
That's probably what it is, yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to think if you have any other doppelgangers. I don't think you do that we know of.
Yeah. People. Here's the thing that people said. But I don't have any hair now. But I had one woman that thought for sure I looked like Patrick Swayze, and I thought she was high.
Well, she was.
Yeah, she
I
was
mean, sorry,
high
that-
or
sorry.
blind.
That was inside voice.
If you could find a younger picture of me and a picture of him, from the Ghost days, you could see that I would be like the less attractive brother of Patrick Swayze.
I literally just watched Roadhouse this weekend, and
Well,
sir, you are no Patrick
Well,
Swayze.
you're looking at me at 60. This was said to me when I was 30 years ago. When I had hair and I was younger and.
You did look like Crispin Glover when you were younger.
That I always got.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, which Crispin Glover, of course, is McFly. He's Marty's dad.
Yep, George.
Yeah, he's Marty's dad, George, and I got that. I did get that a lot. But again, some people thought I was the less attractive brother of Crispin Glover. Well, yeah, I always was the less attractive of whomever they thought I was looking like.
So who's a doppelganger for Danny? Has anyone said you look like somebody?
Well, and I think it's more because of the way I dress, but I feel like I've gotten Billy Joe and
Yeah.
Joel from Good Charlotte and stuff like that. But
The
I
dude
don't,
from MXPX,
the dude
Mike
from-
Carrera.
Yeah, I've gotten that one a lot, especially when I first started working here because I had taken pictures in the studio or something like, oh, it's awesome, you got to interview Mike, and I was like, dude, that's me. Like,
Dude, we should just start taking pictures of hanging with Mike Carrera again and tag him in these pictures until he finally will be like, dude, that's not me. Who are you guys thinking this is?
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. So, guys, if you ever wonder what I'll be doing with my life when I'm 90 years old, just take a look at this guy in L.A. named Aaron Epstein, because I feel like this could be me. If I had the income, if I had the money, I'd be like Aaron. I would pay $10,000 for 2 ads in the Wall Street Journal calling out AT&T for not having faster internet where he lives.
This guy.
I would be
hit
that
his
guy.
breaking point.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got so many years left on this planet. He must have a lot of money, or enough money where it's like $10,000, big deal.
And plus, you're right, Steve. How long does he have? He can't wait for slow internet.
Right.
You know, I got to get this picture. I got to see this now, dude. I could be gone before this thing uploads. He's been an AT&T customer for a long time, so he doesn't want to switch. I can appreciate that. When you get used to something, I don't want to have to learn a whole new thing. But he is having trouble streaming, and he knows a lot of younger people in his neighborhood who need a better connection for work. So he feels like, look, I'm not the only one with this complaint. Now someone from the company has reached out and says they're working on it because, well, he took out 2 big ads in the paper saying, come on with your
Not all heroes wear capes. Some use walkers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And here's a 90-year-old Aaron talking about this.
I put the ad in the paper, and believe me, it's money well spent. So I've been with AT&T from the very, very beginning.
I love this guy.
And for the last 5 years, my internet service, although I was paying for 3.5 megabytes, sometimes it wasn't only up to 1.5 megabytes. She took down all the details, and she says, we'll see what we can do.
Okay, first off, Aaron, for 90 years old, it's pretty cool he lives at a dance club.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, old people love to go to raves.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
I'm looking at the advertisement. It just says like in big bold letters, paid advertisement. Open letter to Mr. John T. Stanky, CEO of AT&T.
That's not his name, Stanky, is it?
Stanky, Stankey.
Okay,
Stanky?
That's pretty
Stanky.
awesome. I mean, when you don't like somebody's service and you call the guy who has the service name is Stanky, it's like, yeah, it's what I think of your service.
If I'm the CEO and my name is John Stanky, whenever I have meetings and I'm like trying to rally the troops, I'm like, all right, let's get out there and put some stank on it.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I don't think you should have that as your rallying cry.
Why not?
Because putting stank on it gives me images.
That's not what it's about. Put some stank on it. Like put some mustard on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I always tell everybody, hey, I'd like some stank on my hot dog. That doesn't sound right either.
And they wrote a whole letter, and it's a whole thing about like how they pride themselves on being a leader in electronic communications. Well, unfortunately for the people in North Hollywood, AT&T is now a major disappointment.
Dude, I have to tell you, this could be very interesting. For folks that are on the on social media, because you can get Facebook ads, you can buy ads, and you know how Facebook targets anybody that even mentions the product. So how about everybody that would work for a particular company? If you bought an ad saying, I'm really upset with this product, you know everybody that works for that product, that targeted ad is going to show up. And if it's your ad with an open letter going, I complain, and Facebook will take your money. I mean, he went to the paper, which is wicked old school, but man.
Yeah, but look, it's now spreading virally. I mean, like, this is like.
Yeah.
I love at the end of it, he goes, so sincerely, Aaron M. Epstein, an AT&T customer since 1960. How about he's been a customer for this product since 1960?
So for 30 years, he's been in AT&T. Is that like back in the Ma Bell days? Like when they were just a phone company?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no internet back then. Maybe they're helping him with like,
he said
Morse
since
code.
1960. That was like when I was born. Seriously.
That's more than 30 years, though.
Yeah, if you were born in 1960.
Yeah.
You said he's been
since he was 60, because he's 90.
Since 1960.
Oh, that is a lot more than 30 years.
Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's way more than 30
like
years.
A billion years old.
That's 60 years because I'm 60. I mean, look at me. That's exactly how many years it is.
He's been a customer for your whole life.
That's back when they were just a telephone company.
What are is there something that you've been a customer of for, like, because I remember I called, I think I was like calling like Xfinity about something, and then even the person's like, hey, thanks for being a customer for, wow, you've been with us for a really long time. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And even like Bank of America, I've had that happen where they're just like, thanks for being a loyal customer since 1997? Wow.
Wow, that's the same with me in a U.S. Bank. It was the same thing. It was like the first account that I ever opened, and they were very surprised to see that.
Well, you picked the magic number 2 for me because 1997 is how long I've been, and they thanked me last time I called AAA.
Yeah, isn't that weird? It's like it does. You don't think about it until someone thanks you for being a customer for that long. You're like, holy smokes, that's a long time.
Have you ever had anybody on the phone? It's usually a young person when you call up because they have to say that, and then they get like, "Whoa!" Like they'll go, "Hey, we just want to thank you for being a customer." Says, "Whoa, 1997."
Well,
Whoa.
that's what I said with the Bank of America. They stopped in their tracks. They're just like, Xfinity. I'm sorry, and they were just the person was super nice, but you could tell like it was just like. Oh, wow, okay. You're like a platinum member.
Do you think that you have been a customer longer than they've been alive?
Sadly, I think you might be right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that's where
why
the
you gotta
woe
say
comes
that?
from. Yeah, I think that's
why
where the
I
woe
quickly
comes
say,
from.
I'm like, just to let you know, I started my cable services at the age of 3.
Yeah. You're going to let them know that. I was an early adopter.
Yeah, I was like maybe 4 tops when I started in 97.
Yeah.
Totally young like you.
Mine was
yeah, this is how it goes.
Mine was State Farm.
Okay.
Yeah, because my mom, when I started driving, she had State Farm, so she just signed me up on her account. And then after that, the discounts were just so great. I've just never stopped. Even like when I went to my own, they're like, "Oh, you've been with us for 10 years. We can give you the same discounts." And it was like, "All right, this works for me." And I've still been with State Farm.
You know, think about like Verizon. Also, I can't think of the time I had another cell phone carrier. I mean, I had Sprint back when there was a Sprint, and then after that I went to Verizon. I haven't turned back since.
See, I had Alltel, which turned into Verizon. Like when Verizon
Oh, so
bought
you're
it
like
out,
OG.
I was like, what's up?
Do you ever call them like, listen, I've been with you since you were Alltel?
I should.
I remember the first time I became a Verizon customer because they were back east, and it was coming out here for this job. And I had to get a cell phone. I thought, you know what, I'm going to be driving across country. I better get a cell phone just for emergencies. And so that's when I became a Verizon customer. And so I remember that specifically 21 years ago.
I love it when companies kind of give you like tiers to kind of incentivize you to stay with them. Yeah. Like Progressive will give you different ones, and I finally hit Emerald status, which means 10 years.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
And I'm just like, oh, hey. When I saw I was like a year or 2 away from Emerald status, it just made me like, I want to be Emerald. And like for no other reason, just for bragging.
Do you, when you ever have to call them, you say, "Hi, I'm Vicky B, Emerald status member"?
Oh, I mean, I don't get into too many accidents like I did before. That's why I joined Progressive.
You're chipped Emerald status.
Yes, just
Emerald status in the Emerald City.
I got kicked off my parents' insurance because I got too many fender benders when I was a teenager. So I had to get my own insurance.
So
and
you
I've been with
were
them
cardboard status at that point.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they would do that with everything. You know what I mean? Like, just like you go to like Starbucks. Thanks for drinking our coffee since 1999. Or something. It'd be kind of fun. Like wherever you go, like I'm sure people freak out about that because then they have more of your information.
They probably, if you have a card, like
That's
if
what
you've
I
been
mean.
doing the stars, they probably could.
But that'd be kind of funny. Like, you know.
I think that's, why not?
When I got my Starbucks Gold card, it was definitely like a status thing. Like,
Wait, a gold card?
There's a gold card?
Yeah.
Well, you don't drink as much coffee as Danny, apparently.
Clearly.
Well, when I worked from home, I have it in my wallet.
See, I get pretty
Let me see
pumped.
this gold card,
Oh,
Mr.
look at this
Fancy.
flex.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Oh, he's pulling it out.
I had
no,
it.
the gold card,
Gold
Danny,
card.
not that. Don't pull the other.
Didn't you watch the HR seminar
Danny.
that we did?
Look at that.
Oh,
And so what do you do with that?
That's kind of old. You just get free coffee when you go.
Look
Every
at
now
that. I
and
never
then,
even seen a card like that.
Yeah, and it used to have my name on. Well, you can kind of still see my name.
So
on it.
what? At some point, they finally hit you up and say, "Yo, you get a lot of our coffee. We're going to make you a gold card member."
Yeah, they did at one point. I think I spent.
Even has a gold magnetic stripe on the back.
That's fancy.
That is super effing fancy. Now I'm jealous.
Yeah.
See, I'm pretty pumped when they remember my drink order at a coffee place. Like that to me is like status.
Yeah, then you know
Like,
you're the man.
We go to the one place at Bigfoot Java right by our house, and oh man, those ladies, they always like as soon as I pull up, they're like getting one for you and your wife. I'm like, you know it. And
See,
then I
that's
don't have
when-
to
yeah.
say anything after that. It's just they do their drink.
That's pretty amazing.
You know what? And I think BJ will appreciate this one. The one that I want to get to is on Alaska. When if you've ever been on a flight where there's a 1,000,000-miler.
Oh, yeah.
They make an announcement for you. They like celebrate, give everyone champagne. It's like
Everyone champagne?
Anyone who can. They did on the flight that I
What?
was in, and
Wow.
it was like, this is amazing. Like 1,000,000 miles flown with
Yo,
Alaska.
I would run up and down the aisles high fiving everyone if I was the 1,000,000-mile person.
I was on a 1,000,000-mile flight, and they just they gave the lady because she was right in front of me like everything, but they didn't give us any champagne.
All right, here's how close I am.
How close are you to being a 1,000,000-mile man?
I'm at 420. I'm almost at 422,000 miles.
Yeah.
Ooh, 420,000.
Damn.
Yeah, but I've been flying. It's ever since my wife spent time in California. So that's been 7 years. It's taken me 7 years to get over.
That's crazy that you're not even halfway there yet.
I'm not even halfway there yet.
So you'll hit it when you're about 95.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like
Who
by
the hell
time
is traveling that much? Because you travel a lot.
Yeah, but I'm not a business person.
And you're
Every
only
day.
traveling to California. I'm thinking people travel a lot from like east to west coast, and that's
Yeah.
what's going to add up.
That adds up, and also, Vicky, there are people that work in California and live in Seattle. Like they will take the plane every day down to California. They'll take the plane at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they'll come back at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's what they do. Yeah, so you could really rack up the miles that way too.
I'm trying to think like what would be like what is the status card you would want? Like because Danny's got like the status card for Starbucks that's it kind of gets little incentives.
Yeah,
Like I'm trying to think like a certain places like that I would want like to be able to show up and just pull out my card. Like, yo, I'm important. I'm VIP.
Like for Steve, I think for you possibly, and we're going food here.
Of course.
I'm going to say either Trapper's Sushi or Menchie's.
Menchie's was one I was thinking. I was actually leaning a little bit towards Honto's Teriyaki.
Oh,
There you go.
nice.
that ain't bad.
Because the Trappers, I feel like I do have the card. I have a roll named after me and my daughter.
Oh,
yeah,
good
you've
call.
got the card.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, you've
I
got
don't
the
need,
card.
Yeah, I don't have a card. I got a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Damn.
probably walks
That's right.
in. He probably walks in. You don't need to know who I am. Just look at number 34.
Just give me me.
Yeah.
What would you like for what were you thinking for lunch?
Yeah.
Me,
please.
figure it out.
And also, my daughter will have. She'll have half of that. So give her the mini me.
Right.
Yeah.
The mini me.
That would be weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I
like a me and a her.
I want to go to those special lounges they have in airports.
Oh, I always wanted to pop in one.
And
of those.
I mean, you can pay to do it, but
I just pay for that. Who
I
wants to
know, but
pay?
I want to be able to do it, like just because I fly so much that they just give it to you. Like I don't know if the Million Miler gets that, where you get to get in every time. I don't know.
No. You know what you can do though? Well, because I have the Alaska card, and they only charge you like $20 to go in there if you have
What's
the
in
Alaska
there?
credit card.
Can you tell us?
It's food.
Yeah, free food,
Free food, coffee.
beverage.
They have free alcohol,
And it's
They have
quiet.
What kind of
lounges.
food are they hooking you up with?
Everything. They had mac and
Pretzels?
cheese. They had soup. They had a salad bar.
Soft
they have like
pretzels?
sandwiches. Yeah, soft. I think they do have soft pretzels.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Steve, you got, but you got to fly.
It's kind of like the
awesome.
Diamond Club of T-Mobile Park.
That's exactly what they are. And American
$20.
Express, like they have a couple of places in airports they call it the Centurion Club, and I don't know how you get there with American Express.
No idea.
But those are the places. That's what I want to do. And
got
they're
super-
building a nice one, I guess, in the end gates for Alaska. I forget what they call
Do you
that
got
place.
video games? Can you play like our pinball machines? Never mind.
Steve is just like doing make-em-ups. So what's in there? Like, an amusement park? Is there a roller coaster in there?
Strippers, all the above.
Oh, dude, if I was in charge, that there'd be adult dancers.
Yeah.
There would be video games.
That would be a problem.
A golden tee.
Yeah.
Pinball, air hockey, bubble hockey.
Yeah, this is probably, they're probably not going to do that for you. Sir.
And pretzels.
Yeah, the pretzels we could probably do, sir, but the adult dancers, I'm afraid we have a lot of people who fly that have different sensibilities.
They could dress up as like flight attendants.
Dude.
But the way you'd have them dress up, it would be a different look than what the flight attendants are wearing.
I'm fine with that.
I know you're fine with it. You're as much a pervert as he is.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Today's podcast is brought to you by bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, who's ready to answer your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, is it true that if you filed for bankruptcy once, you can't file again?
Even if you filed bankruptcy before, you can almost certainly file bankruptcy again. Different types of bankruptcies have different time limits between filings. In Chapter 7, full bankruptcy, you can only file Chapter 7 once every 8 years. However, you can almost always file a Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 cases can be filed immediately following a Chapter 7. They can be filed immediately following a prior Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 is a reorganization plan, so there will be some type of monthly payment, but it's based on your budget and your ability to afford that payment. So Chapter 13 is an option in almost all cases, even with a prior bankruptcy filing.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.